After surviving around 40 hours of planes, layovers, and security checks, we finally landed in the Philippines. For several members of our team, this was their first trip to the Philippines. We immediately realized how easy it was for Paul and Debbie Deem to fall in love with the people and places in this beautiful land when God called them here to be missionaries in 1986. Because of their faithfulness to God's call, Lighthouse Baptist Church in the town of Leon, Iloilo, and Lighthouse Baptist Bible College are still going strong, sending out many graduates into the harvest, planting 20-plus new churches, and reaching remote islands where the gospel has never been heard, and seeing dozens of souls saved and discipled each month. Pastor Elizer is being used mightily of God to faithfully oversee the day-to-day work. As we drove from the airport to the church, we saw dozens of rice fields, each one complete with a carabao and goat snacking on the weeds that border the fields. The sheet metal roofs, dirt floors, and bamboo walls of the houses were lined up back to back in an endless tangle as far as the eye could see. These little shacks offered very little comfort or protection. They represented thousands of souls lost in darkness and confused by false teachings and superstitions. The people are starving for the truth. As we passed out tracts, everyone wanted one and started reading them immediately. They were curious as to why we were there and why we thought it worth the trip around the world to share the gospel with them. The question in my mind was different. With all the lives we were able to personally touch, and with all the souls that were saved as a direct result of us coming, the question should be, why aren't more Christians going on mission trips, or surrendering to full-time missions, volunteering more time, or giving more for mission projects? Why haven't I done more? And Lord, what else would you have me to do or surrender for the salvation of one more soul? The need for free eyeglasses on foreign fields is overwhelming. My father-in-law, Paul Deem, preached while we set up a clinic in one of the churches. He asked, how many people were there to get glasses because they could not see to read the Bible? Dozens and dozens of hands were raised. Most of these Filipinos wanted to come to church, but they were shy because they could not read the Bible or sing from the hymnals during service. A simple disability was hindering them from coming and hearing the gospel for the first time at church. Dr. Waller used high-tech equipment to scan eyes for prescription readings. He also saw all the patients with severe eye problems. Every patient got a warm touch, a smile, a pair of glasses, and any needed medications like eye drops, pain relievers, and allergy relief. Mrs. Waller and her son Tim floated from post to post, training us and helping us with the unusual prescriptions. They were such good teachers. John Young adjusted and repaired glasses. Claude and Lynn Huber did eye charts. Stan Gage and Jim Cleveland handed out reading glasses and helped with other side jobs. My husband Timothy and Jim Cleveland's granddaughter Becky pulled 3 prescription glasses for each patient to try on and select the best one. My father-in-law Paul Deem and I helped each patient try on their glasses and check for clarity. We received the used prescription glasses from the Lions Club. The clearest pair was not always the prettiest pair, so we really told the patients they looked beautiful in their 1983 jumbo frames. I will never forget the 70-year-old man who saw clearly for the first time in years after receiving his glasses. His eyes lit up as he stared at a distant tree like it was the first time he saw one. He reached out and held my hand so tight. Over and over, he said, "I love you, I love you." Each patient's glasses were set aside while a personal soul winner dealt with each individual. Except for some church members, this was the first time many patients had ever heard a clear presentation of the gospel. Out of 859 patients we saw on multiple islands, 585 souls were saved as a result of the Bible college students witnessing to them one-on-one. We also handed out a few hundred Christmas joy gift bags, scriptures, and Bibles. The kids were so happy to see the toothbrushes and lollipops and toys in their bags. At first, they were confused as they could not imagine someone giving them such a nice gift all for themselves. Their eyes lit up so much when they realized they got to keep the entire bag of goodies. They clenched the bags and wouldn't let go. All of these blessings made it really easy to let go of the comforts of home and enjoy the trip. I was a little uneasy about taking an hour-long ocean boat ride to a remote island. Pastor Eliza was riding on one of these little pump boats a while back when it sprung a leak and started sinking. When I asked what he thought, he laughed so hard and said, "It's all part of the experience." And this became the inside joke for the trip. As the water would be off and on and we would have to take showers by bucket and dipper, we would say, "It's all part of the experience." Some of us decided it was better to use the CR, or comfort room, with the lights off because it seemed more comfortable when you couldn't see all the little ants, etc., waiting to welcome you. It was an honor for me to share a ladies' conference with my mother-in-law, Debbie Dean. She spoke to the ladies via Skype. After we were done speaking, 5 ladies accepted Jesus Christ as Savior. It was very heart-touching to see the Filipinos so happy even though they had so little. The Bible college students and staff served the Lord so willingly, and all of them kept saying from the bottom of their hearts, "It's for God's glory." The students get up early each morning well before 5:30 to start sweeping and cleaning the fenced-in lot that houses the church, dorms, and classrooms. They sweep the entire lot each day to manage the sandy dust and keep out snakes. Then they have to cook their small portions of rice and sometimes a little bit of fish over homemade charcoal in blackened cooking pots. When they go to Bible college, most of their parents cannot help them financially or refuse to support them because the students turn their back on Catholic traditions and turn to Jesus Christ. The students hand pump water to wash their clothing and hang it out to dry. Washing day can take hours. They do all of this on top of going to class, soul winning and street preaching, holding home and business Bible studies and discipleship, traveling by boats to outreach islands, and getting up early on Sundays to ride jeepneys deep into the mountain region to bring children to 7:30 a.m. Sunday school services. And they all say, "It is for God's glory." Our hearts broke when we saw the dorms and how the college students slept on nothing but hard bamboo beds. Some of them had little blankets, but nothing to provide comfortable rest. We all put our money together and bought each one of them a foam mat for sleeping. They were so overwhelmed with gratitude. The Bible college students and staff members cannot afford their most basic needs for living. Several students had to return home because they were not able to get enough to eat. A few faithful givers donate money each month for DirectLine ministry to provide food for them, but so much more is needed. All of the money goes straight into an account where Pastor Eliza can withdraw it and buy food in the open market. Only $38 a month will feed one Bible college student, and only $70 a month will provide basic needs for a staff member and their family. Please pray about helping these dedicated servants of God so they can focus on winning souls without the burden of praying in their next meal. We also had a groundbreaking service for the new building project. The current dormitories and classrooms were made with bamboo that is decaying and eaten by termites. We are praying for God to provide the funds to build nicer concrete rooms that will last, and we hope to start construction very soon. You can help by giving to this building fund. Everyone on the mission trip felt God working in their hearts to do more for the cause of Christ. There are so many to reach, so little time, and so few laborers. We want to thank Paul and Debbie Dean for starting the work in the Philippines and starting DirectLine Ministry to ship materials and meet needs around the world. We also want to thank Dr. Waller and family for their medical mission and all they have sacrificed to see more souls saved.